America's vacation land is absolutely wild. All creatures, big and small, share a primary goal: survive. Beyond the famous beaches, hidden from land and sea, lies a watery wonderland. But Florida's swamps are no playground. For the animals living here, it's a savage paradise. Every year, millions of tourists flock to Florida. The funny thing is, a third of it is underwater. Make no mistake, America's playground is still wild. Just past the theme parks and planned communities, predators are hungry for a kill. For almost any animal, the swamp is a scary place. The gin-clear waters of these spring-fed swamps teem with a vast diversity of life. From the tips of ancient cypress to the river's muddy bottom. The backwoods of Florida are ruled by dragons. With no predators patrolling these waters, the American alligator is their supreme lord. Full-grown gators may only eat about once or twice a week. That could be as many as 2 million ambush kills. The alligator is a finely tuned killing machine. They are powerful swimmers. Using their tails for propulsion and webbed feet for guidance. Their hide is military grade. Water is their element, stealth their method of attack. When a gator clamps down on its victim, it drowns. most fearsome part of this ancient reptile is its mouth. Designed to rip off limbs and edible chunks of carcass, with up to 80 tearing teeth. Over the course of a lifetime, a gator can go through 2,000 to 3,000 teeth. Graceful and mysterious, whitetail deer gather in wary herds amongst the Spanish moss. Last century, deer in Florida only numbered around 20,000. But with abundant food and transplants from other states, this population has boomed to over 700,000. Nobody will miss just one. A relic from the time of the terrible lizards, these two are ancient adversaries. For over 150 million years, alligators have been ambushing prey. Practice makes perfect. Almost. This time, he just misses. The deer's quick instinct triumphs. Eventually, the deer must return for water. When he does, the gator has the weaponry to finish the job. No alligator is born a swamp king. They must evade countless deadly foe to reach royal status. These new hatchlings could live up to 50 years in the wild, but they'll have to survive their first year. The hard truth is this: only 1 in 10 gator hatchlings will escape death. Baby gators are a delicacy for a host of Florida's wild, both above and below the waterline. None as fearsome as a full-grown king, notorious for cannibalizing their own kind. For now, the princes are in protective custody. Few in the swamp are bold enough to take on the matriarch. Her young make brief forays to explore their dangerous playground. But their days of discovery, under her watchful eye, are nearing an end. If one of these young gators is to beat the odds and see his first birthday, he'll have to escape the swamp's surprising array of predators, searching for a meal. Florida is much more than just a vacation. Beyond the property lines, it's a secret jungle. The largemouth bass stalks the sunken snags of the clear waters. This fish's legendary mouth makes it an unlikely assassin. The bass possess excellent vision, ready to attack. And sensing the slightest disturbances in their domain. A frog tries to escape. But even a sprightly swimmer like this has no chance against a speedy largemouth. Bass eats his frog legs cold. In fact, it'll devour just about anything that doesn't eat it first, including baby gators. A gator prince, not much larger than the unlucky frog, wanders beyond his mother's gaze and heads out for an open river sprint. One day, he'll rule the Florida swamp. If he can make it past the largemouth. It's an ambush from below. One prince has fallen. Another apex hunter eliminated. Call it a preemptive strike if you will. Or just call it lunch. Central Florida gets a whopping 70% of its rainfall in the wet season. The deluge from summer to fall keeps water levels high. But when the wet season ends, the hunters and the hunted will share precious little space. Several months into the dry season, watery havens vanish. Channels dry up. And ponds disappear. What was once a pool of life is now a dried up field of knotty cypress knees. Herons, egrets, spoonbills, ducks, and more concentrate in shallow pools as they wait for the rains to return. Of course, the effects of dry season are still settling in. There'll be predators coming to share these crowded waters. The Gator King must make his way to a new watering hole and new sources of prey. Gators can move quickly on land, but only for short bursts. This search for a new watery home is long and exhausting. The gator gapes its mouth open to cool off. His ambush ability is most effective at the water's edge. It's unlikely he'll eat again until he gets there. Relief at last. His new quarters are filled with rivals. They'd rather rule their own domain, but it's the dry season, and bodies of water are hard to find. Of course, there are other new neighbors the king is anxious to meet. Nearly 3,000 pounds of bite force is an awesome weapon against any prey. For turtles in the swamp, It's not the hardness of the shell that might save them from a gator's jaws, but rather the curves Mother Nature has bestowed that give the turtle a fighting chance. Score one for the little guy. But of course, even the best design can only hold out for so long. There's no shortage of creatures on the hunt in Florida's swamps. Feeding starts with the crayfish, the most important part of this balancing act. Crayfish serve as the essential link in a complex aquatic and terrestrial food chain. Unfortunately, the hard shell of this lobster-like arthropod is no match for its numerous predators. Like this masked marauder, patrolling the water's edge, searching for the swamp's most plentiful snack. But while the raccoon dines, he must be cautious, or he'll become the next meal. It's hard to take this character too seriously. With bulging eyes and bulbous figure, the North American bullfrog is not Florida's most intimidating inhabitant. But creatures not wary of this prolific hunter will pay the ultimate price. The bullfrog employs a sticky, blisteringly quick tongue to snatch its victims. He's an improbable predator, but don't underestimate him. He'll eat anything he can shove in his mouth, including a wandering gator hatchling. Florida's bustling backwaters, the leopard frog is a smaller version of the bullfrog. And although the leopard frog is an accomplished hunter in its own right, it would be wise to avoid sitting at the family table with its larger cousin. Bullfrogs are cannibals. European settlers introduced feral hogs to the swamp. They are intense breeders, reaching sexual maturity at just 6 months and multiplying like wildfire. They have few predators in Florida, but there is one. And around here, there is a huge price to pay for trespassing. Grabbing a wildebeest in Africa, the gator tears the hog apart in a death roll. All souls are forewarned. Don't graze too close to Florida's swampy edge. Water levels are at their lowest. But the rising temperatures mean a change is in the air. A dark horizon signals the arrival of the first big thunderstorm of the season. Rains have returned. Predators and prey disperse into the expanse. A welcome relief from the claustrophobic web of peril. Here too, the watery kingdom of the alligator is restored. Alligators are ectothermic. They rely on external sources to control their own body temperature. It's a beautiful day to bask in the sun's warm glow. But it's also a beautiful day for an ambush. The water moccasin, aka cottonmouth, is a pit viper, using two heat-seeking pits between the eyes and nostrils to hone in on heat signatures for deadly accurate strikes. Cottonmouths are primarily active at night, but like the young gator, they love to bask in the sun, which maintains their body temperature and also speeds up metabolism for digestion. Bad news for the hatchling. The venom destroys tissue and prohibits blood from clotting. The victim will bleed out. The cottonmouth will dine. Now, only one gator prince remains. Here in the Florida Wild, just 20 miles from Disney World, the young are constantly under siege. Late spring, rising waters and rising temperatures mean one thing: the struggle for dominance. Mating season. gators will gather in large numbers for a chorus. Below the waterline, this bellowing creates intense sound vibrations. The result is one of the great phenomenon of the swamp, the water dance. Water dance is a show by males looking to attract a female. After all the bluster and violence, the end game is a subtle and gentle affair, which will produce a new generation of hopeful hunters. With a perilous season under his belt, the sole remaining gator prince has only one thought. He must eat. With the instincts of a supreme predator, the yearling attacks with gusto. This little guy has scored a hearty meal. Just upriver, the iconic king all swamp hatchlings hope to become has unfinished business with an ancestral foe. Just a short drive from the exotic sands of South Beach, Florida's swamps host a diverse ecosystem, boasting colorful and deadly characters. Every creature in the swamp shares a mission: make a living. Out here, that means find yourself a bite to eat, but don't end up on anyone else's menu. There is one creature that's always guaranteed a seat at the head of the table. The apex. It's the time of year when mature whitetail males tussle for dominance during the rut. And a young deer grazes by the water. Before he realizes, he has ventured too far into the kill zone of the Lizard King. Today's special is venison. The strike is lightning quick, on target, and without mercy. The waters have stilled, and a calm envelops the swamp. The cycle of life completes another year out here, just beyond the reach of civilization. The yearling gator is one of the few of his kind who has made it this far. A vast array of predators will pursue him for several more years. If he can survive across the seasons, he'll grow to 4 feet. No longer at their mercy, exclusively a hunter. Joining his fellow kings, always lying in wait for their next meal.